Hey folks, I'm Rantina, in case you forgot. You may have, it's been a while. Anyways, I've decided to take a break from playing Final Fantasy Tactics to talk about Final Fantasy Tactics. It's one of those games that has a lot going on behind the scenes. You can play through the entire game and never really know exactly everything that's going on. It's very plot heavy, so I have decided to, at this point in the game, we've just finished with Zeekton Fortress, heading into part 2, chapter 2, chapter 2. Thought I'd explain what's been going on so far. So I wanted to give a little background first. We are in Ivalice in this game, which is a country, I think, in a world also known as Ivalice. I didn't do it, okay. Anyways, we are dealing with the aftermath of the 50 Years' War. The 50 Years' War was fought between Ivalice and Ordalia, which are two rivaling countries in Ivalice. That's not going to get confusing or anything. Ivalice has the Order of the Northern Sky Knights. Waygruff and Gustav were in this order, and it was headed and led by Barbaneth Beowulf, but since he got sick and died, Zalbag Beowulf is now leading the Order of the Northern Sky. Ordalia, on the other hand, has the Order of the Southern Sky, which is led by Sidolphus Orlando, who we will probably see later on in the game. So it was basically a pointless war. The king of Ivalice started it for pretty much no reason. He died before he even got to the front lines, and Ivalice just kind of fell apart. They had no idea what they were doing because their king had died, and he was the whole reason they were fighting the stupid war in the first place. So they being Ordalia and Ivalice, fought to a stalemate, and during the stalemate, another country called Romanda invaded Ivalice. Ivalice held them off with some help from a dude known as Grand Duke Barrington, and we may or may not be seeing him later in the game too. They retreated, Romanda, that is, retreated after 3 years of fighting, and the king after the king that succeeded, which was Denamda IV, died. He was succeeded by Andoria Atkashja III, and I am probably mangling that, but we're going to pretend I'm not, because that's, it's good. Andoria was a terrible king. He was weak, he was lame, he had no will, he was just a really bad king, and I have no idea how he succeeded, but he succeeded. He got bullied by Ordalia into signing a peace treaty, which was pretty much just a surrender. That ended the 50 Years' War, but the problem was that Ivalice couldn't afford to pay the soldiers and knights that had fought. Naturally, these guys are pissed off because, I risk my life, not even get paid, what the hell. So most of them, or at least some of them, broke off and formed a group called the Corpse Brigade, which also came with a lot of class warfare. The peasantry is fighting the nobility. They want to bring a complete end to the nobility. So. After the 50 Years' War, with the advent of the Corpse Brigade and the class revolt that was going on, King Andoria's 2 sons died, so he decided to adopt his younger half-sister, Princess Ovelia, to be his heir, his daughter. And wouldn't you know it, his wife, Queen Loveria, gave birth to a son, Prince Ornis. And now there's this big thing about who's the rightful heir. Is it Ornis or is it Ovelia? Duke Larg from Ivalice, the Northern Sky, he's Loveria's brother. He supports Prince Ornis because basically if Ornis is the correct rightful heir, he's going to be the regent with Queen Loveria as his advisor, meaning she's pretty much going to pull all the strings. However, we also have Duke Goltana, who is of the Order of the Southern Sky. He supports Ovelia because he would become Ovelia's regent. She's only 15, so she still needs a regent, apparently. When I was 15, I could have ruled a country, but, no one asked me. So, anyway, this is the big conflict. Larg wants Ornis. Goltana wants Ovelia. And it's a big thing, because wars of succession. We're following the story of Ramza and Delita, who are our best friends, even though Ramza is of House Beowulf, which is very high nobility, and Delita and his sister have been house servants for House Beowulf for pretty much their entire lives. Nevertheless, they're best friends, completely inseparable. And their part of the story pretty much starts when they find Argith on Mendalia Plains. He's a retainer to Marquis Elmdor, who has been kidnapped. They go to Egros Castle, which is the high seat for House Beowulf. Their brother, Rams's brother, Daisadarg, tells him to sit tight, but his other brother, Zelbeg, hints at them that maybe they should go rescue the Marquis. So they do, and when they do, they end up getting caught up in the politics of the succession to the throne, because it turns out that Daisadarg had Elmdor kidnapped because Elmdor supported Ordalia, which means that he supports Ovelia to be on the throne instead of Prince Orinus, and that's completely against what Daisadarg and Duke Larg have going. So, great opportunity to get Elmdor out of the picture. Now, they being Daisadarg and Larg, hired Gustav, who is a commander in the Corpse Brigade, to kidnap Elmdor because they want to make sure that nobody takes the Corpse Brigade seriously. At this point in the game, the Corpse Brigade they're kind of like Robin Hood. They're all noble and, fight against the classes and the nobility and, kick their asses and everything. And the commoners are taking them seriously. But if they start kidnapping people, the commoners are going to take them far less seriously. So they hired Gustav. And it works because, who's going to take the Corpse Brigade seriously now? But Gustav kind of went against what they said because he kidnapped Elmdor within their borders. So Northern Sky had to retaliate, and they did. Now the Corpse Brigade looks bad. The commander of the Corpse Brigade is Waygriff, and as we know from gameplay, Waygriff is not someone to be trifled with, and he got pissed and killed Gustav. So it wasn't too good an idea for him. Didn't work out so well. Another member of the Corpse Brigade organizes an attack on Egros, which is the Beowulf high seat, and I guess he's hoping to assassinate Daisadarg, but all he's able to do is kidnap Tetra, Delita's sister. He doesn't realize that she's not noble, so he thinks he's got a great prize here, but he doesn't politically because, Tetra's connected to the Beowulfs, but she's not her noble herself, so her value as a hostage is pretty minimal. And Delita flips out when he finds out because it's his sister. Why wouldn't he? Daisadarg says, hey, we got this under control. We're going to get her back, and then we're going to assault the Corpse Brigade. We're not doing it till then. But it turns out that he has ordered Argith and his brother Zalbeg to assault Ziegton Fortress, where Tetra is being held. Argith murders Tetra, and then Gragaroth, the guy behind this whole kidnapping thing, and there's a big fight. At the end of it, Argith is dead, the fort explodes, Delita is presumed dead. Except, we had a scene at the beginning of the game in which Rams is like, whoa, that was Delita, pretty sure. So, maybe he's not dead after all. Spoilers. Spoiler alert. Lastly, this has all been a flashback so far, this Chapter 1 of Final Fantasy Tactics. We are at the present day now, and it looks like Rams is a mercenary. He's taken up with this charming person named Gafgarian, and just going to have to keep watching and playing to see what happens next. Dude, seriously? Okay, that's fine. Anyways, I have decided to take a break from playing Final Fantasy Tactics. Ivalice is, the country that... don't use bad words. Bad words are called bad words for a reason. Don't use bad words. At this point, I'm going to take a break because, okay, some water. This video is not brought to you by Arrowhead. Duke Larg, who is Massive asshole. Okay, you can't say that on air. Hold on, let me get myself together here. Yep. It's a bit of a douche. Okay. Except, there was a flashback in the beginning of the game. Or, no, this was all a flashback. We see... you were almost finished, you dumb bastard. Okay.